So here's another answered prayer that I didn't even think about. Those of you who have been listening to my story and you heard about me when I was dealing with my diagnosis, and the Lord was bringing healing into my life and all of that. During that whole time, I was having massive nightmares, and I mean horrendous visual, just absolutely terror in my soul. There were so many nights I would just wake up sobbing. Like, the sobbing is what woke me up. There were so many nights that I'd wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning so terrified. I'd turn all the lights on in my bedroom and just lay there and shake. I couldn't even go back to sleep. Like, the stuff of life that I was dealing with in the counseling sessions and all the trauma and all of that, my subconscious was having a field day, making me look at it, look at these issues and look at these feelings and look at these emotions. And I would have to write out my dreams and why I was having them, what feelings they brought up. And it was a very, very hard time. And I would ask people all the time, please pray for me so I can sleep. Sleep is important. Without sleep, you cannot function, and I cannot sleep. And so I would ask them for prayer, and I would ask them for prayer, and they're like, well, have you prayed over your room? Yes, I prayed over my room. Have you, they gave me scriptures to speak over my room. And some of them actually got very upset and angry at me because I wasn't praying enough. I wasn't praying right. I didn't believe in the prayer because I was still having nightmares even after praying and doing everything they said. That, I don't know, they were thinking I wasn't strong enough. I wasn't anointed enough. God wasn't. I don't know what drives people to say things like that. But what I do know is the fact that God heard every single prayer. And God was with me during that whole process. And those that had compassion and knew that it isn't a magic formula. The Bible isn't a magic formula that you can just stamp it and go, okay, this is fixed. The Bible is about a relationship that you have with God, and it's in your relationship with God that He comes and He meets you. And yes, sometimes things don't snap and get fixed right away, but God is with you in the middle of the trial, in the middle of what is going on, and He showed me that. And for years, I struggled with nightmares, and I would go a couple days without a nightmare, and it was like, yes, I would have a night without nightmares, and it was great, and I loved it. And then they would be back, and there was more processing to do, and it was a season, and I thought the season would never end. I thought I was going to be like that forever, and I was just never going to sleep ever. And that changed as the Lord brought healing into my life, as I was able to share my stories, as I was able to give a verbal word to the trauma that I was feeling, as I was able to have someone hear it, love me anyway, and validate the pain that I had gone through. When I had all of that happen, I no longer felt alone. I no longer felt like I was in danger to be hurt and to be wounded. And somehow God brought the healing when I was awake to my conscious, but at the same time to my subconscious. So my subconscious also was healed because of what God was doing in my life and in the journey of fellowship and friendship and growing. And so I am 20 plus years after dealing with all of that deep trauma, and it was hard going through it. It was rough going through it. Like, if you were in the midst of going through your trauma and bringing that stuff up, I just say kudos to you. Keep at it. Don't stop. It is worth it to find the peace that's on the other side. And what's really awesome is I've been able to sleep in peace for years. And I almost forgot how hard life was when I wasn't sleeping and when I couldn't sleep. Like, it was just terrible. But I can sleep in peace now. And it's like all those prayers for all those years, God heard them. He was with me. When I would get frustrated because He didn't answer my prayer again, and I had terrible nightmares again, and I would wake up sobbing, gut-wrenching sobs. And it would take me half a day to get over just all the emotion that got brought up. And I wondered, where was God? Did he not hear my prayer? Does he not know I don't want to dream about these things? I want to sleep. I want to feel peace. I want to feel better. I can tell you now, he did hear those prayers. He did help me walk through that time. He did help bring people beside me who could validate what I was going through, who could love me through it, who were Jesus's hands in my life. And I am at a place where God answered prayer. He answered prayer, and I can sleep. I can sleep in peace. I can sleep without trauma and terrors and night, just horrible events. Very, very, very seldom do I wake up from a nightmare, and normally it's just something that I haven't put my finger on, an unconscious feeling that I'm feeling. But I don't wake up with terror in the middle of the night and have to turn all the lights on because I'm so afraid. I don't have to do that anymore. I can sleep in peace. And it's like, I am so grateful to God for answering my prayer. It may have taken years, but he didn't give up on me. And I knew he was there the whole time. So whatever it is that you are going through, don't give up. Know that God is there with you, and he loves you so much, and he will see you through the really difficult times. So that is my story. Thanks so much for listening to it. It is really nice to feel peace again on this side of things, and I still struggle and have stress sometimes and things, but nothing is like reliving the past and the trauma that I went through. It is nice to be current in today's date, and the trauma that we're going through is today's trauma, not years ago trauma invading my space. It's really nice to be in the here and now, and just to see all the prayers that God has answered, and I'm looking forward to him answering so much more.